everyone. This is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. Two cases, the RG Kar hospital rape and murder case and the sexual abuse of two 4-year-old girls at school in Badlapur. Suo motu cognizance taken by two top courts, the Supreme Court of India and the Bombay High Court. Both benches slamming the respective state governments, West Bengal and Maharashtra, for negligence. And these aren't the only instances of courts stepping in where governance fails. Joining me on the show, we have Member of Parliament of the TMC, Sagarika Ghosh. Susi Ben Shah is Chairperson of Maharashtra State Commission for Protection of Child Rights, and Shazia Ilmi, spokesperson of the BJP. Susi Ben Shah, I'm going to begin with you. In both these cases, what we have seen is courts stepping in. In case of Maharashtra and also in the case of Kolkata. In case of Kolkata, of course, the Supreme Court said, don't politicize the matter. Do you think it's politicization of incidents of crime which is leading to institutions failing?
Yes, very good evening to all, my co-panelists and the viewers. I would just like to say this, that the High Court has additionally stepped in. The government of Maharashtra surely has stepped in. An administrator has been appointed. Yes, there was a delay. There were latches. The entire system failed our girls. I'm not running away from it. And therefore now, we all women, especially politician women who are in public life, should join hands, have a constructive debate. Like in Maharashtra, I'll just like to give an example that sometimes in 2022, there was a rape murder of a 7-year-old girl. The system moved very, very fast track within 40 days, charge sheet, 6 months, the entire examination chief was finished. And on 22nd, on June 24, there was the strictest penalty given, death by hanging. So within 1.5 years, the strictest punishment was given. So therefore, the political will, political pressure has to be there. And no other person better than we women. You see, in Maharashtra, I've suggested, and I've given a deadline to the government, that in 3 months, something like a crime branch in each police station, independent mini police station in existing police station. The job of that woman and child desk or police station, mini police station, is only to handle women and children. No VIP movement, no bandobast, no theft. Unless and until such structural reforms are made, let me tell you this, nothing is going to change. We'll have this knee-jerk reactions. We'll have these debates where we want death by hanging for everyone, everything to be suspended, everyone to be thrown out. Aisa nahi hota hai. We have to have a full-proof system where we don't
have an all-women's panel today, and that's why I'm going to seek solutions here. Sagarika Ghosh, I'm coming to you, ma'am. The question here is that the Supreme Court has been very clear. It says, please don't politicize this. The law will take its course. We are ensuring that the law does take its course after a quick and efficient investigation. But several questions have been raised on the role and evident cover-up which was done by the Kolkata police. Do you think this case can be that case in which structural changes can be brought in to ensure safety of women, safety of doctors, rather than looking at it from the prism of politics?
Maria, this is an extremely important, urgent, and a vital question that you have taken up. Crimes against women are increasing across the country. As we have seen, 90 assault cases take place on a daily basis against women. Now, I don't agree with your interpretation that the Supreme Court has in any way found fault with the Bengal government. Yes, the Apex Court raised some very important questions throughout the hearing today, but the Kolkata police gave a minute-by-minute account of the day. It said exactly why at 10:10 it registered that unnatural death case, why the FIR was registered later. The unnatural death case registration was in no way dissimilar to an FIR. The manner in which the autopsy was conducted, the manner in which the post-mortem was conducted. I think the Supreme Court gave some very important rulings, Maria, which I would like to flag here. First of all, yes, Do not politicize crimes against women. We need fast track justice. We need exemplary punishment. We have to speak in one voice, in empathy and solidarity. We stand with the anguished. We stand with the angry. Protest is a legitimate right of the citizen, but an incitement to violence is not. Those inciting violence in the name of protest, those inciting mobs in the name of protest, there the law will take its course. But in a case like the RG Kaur incident, where citizens are grieved, citizens are anguished, we share that anguish as a state government. We stand with protesters, but we will also uphold the law, and that is what has happened. The Kolkata police, as you know, has cracked this case. The Kolkata police, in 24 hours, has arrested the criminal who is, as the CBI status report has also established, is the criminal. There is no case made out for a gang rape. Wild theories were speculating on social media. That is not established in the CBI report. And also, I would like to say, Maria, the point is the Supreme Court made two very important observations, which we welcome. First of all, don't politicize crimes against women. Second of all, the narrative and the investigation of crimes against women cannot be established on Twitter. It cannot be established on social media. Social media and media cannot establish the timeline
That is
and
the reason
line
I'm criticized for.
in a crime against women and in a case where there is investigation going on. Let the police do its job in a fair and impartial manner. If there are gaps in accountability and responsibility, those will be corrected. Those will be taken into consideration. But, you know, expecting a T20 style ball by ball commentary on social media is to reduce
Let me bring in Shazia Ilmi now.
Drama.
Yes,
That
Shazia
cannot
Ilmi,
happen.
the question, of course, is to both the political parties. I've asked that question to the Trinamool Congress representative here, Member of Parliament Sagarika Ghosh. My question is to you as a member of the BJP. Can you really ensure that there is no politics? Because what is playing out is protest march by politicians. And you are certainly doing it because you are in opposition and you're sensing an opportunity that this can be an issue which can lead to mobilization against Mamata Banerjee.
Yes, Maria, but I would totally disagree with the former speaker, it was my predecessor speaker, Sagarika Ghosh, who has completely misrepresented what happened in Kolkata. In fact, it was Kapil Sibal, the lawyer, along with, I think, more than 25 other lawyers who are representing West Bengal government against the family of a girl who was murdered, raped, mutilated. He was actually schooled by S.G. Mehta and told that somebody has lost their life, at least don't laugh. Not just that, the Supreme Court tore into Kolkata administration and Kolkata police and even said that this kind of criminality, this kind of criminal wrongdoing has not been seen, this kind of lapses in the last 30 years of his career. Not just that, there were serious questions asked about the postmortem, about the FIR, about the delay in FIR, and about the tampering of the evidence that was done deliberately. Now, these were not lapses, they were real. And Mamata Banerjee, who is so fond of imposing Section 144, allowed the mob to run amok, allowed a complete criminal to be the principal who has been accused of all sorts of illegal criminal activity, as pointed out by the former Deputy Superintendent Akhtar Ali last year, and in which there are complaints and charges of organ harvesting, medical scams, 20% cut, and what have you. And in fact, I worry for Akhtar Ali because he has to be protected now. There is a complete collapse of law and order. It's so obvious.
Ma'am, you know,
that
as far as the role of Akhtar Ali, one
days,
moment. Shazia Ilmi, as far as the role of Akhtar Ali is concerned, you know, of course, he has made some statements, but he hasn't really released those letters till now in which he claims that he had raised it in the past. So I would take that with a pinch of salt right now.
No, I would not do that because the complaint letter, which has been taken up by BJP, there is all out for everybody to see, and many people have seconded that. Maria, I will send it to you. And I wish you did this kind of cross-questioning earlier when we heard about how brilliant Kolkata police has been, so much so that the health minister and the law minister and also the chief minister herself is going on a protest against herself and writing letters to Narendra Modi ji, generalizing rape, normalizing rape, and making it out to be as if it's somehow the centrist fault. Thank God for Supreme Court that we now have CISF in that hospital. Thank God for CBI now finally that this criminal who has been taken to another place to continue to indulge in corruption and who has been protected by Mamata Banerjee and a government is now finally going to be arrested, and there will be a polygraph test. Instead of dismissing the principal who lied, who actually was, look at his cruelty, that not only did he lie to the parents of the girl, he did not allow them to see
can we
the
look at
body
solutions
of the
now?
deceased.
Because both the politicians have spoken about their points of view, but because we have an all-women's panel and there is a need.
See what the Supreme Court is saying. It's a matter of great shame that
it's a complete misrepresentation. She clearly doesn't know what happened. I followed the proceeding minute by minute. There was no question of the court saying that there was any kind of cover-up. Yes, there were questions asked.
Can I come in
the beginning, and those questions were sorted out later through the proceeding. If the member of the BJP doesn't follow the proceeding and then relies only on Twitter to make her assumptions, that clearly shows that she hasn't listened to the proceedings as I have in detail.
And you don't follow what the Supreme Court,
the Supreme Court did not.
Okay, Susie Ben Shah wants to come in. Please go ahead, Susie Ben Shah. Please hold on to your thoughts. Yes, Susie Ben Shah. Of course, we have been talking about what the Supreme Court said. Don't politicize it. And like always, we are seeing politics play out.
When Kapil Sibal talked about acid attacks and when Kapil Sibal raised the question of, he mentioned social media 16 times. CJI actually lambasted Kapil Sibal and said, do not politicize the issue. And has said that there are such lacuna in the way
the BJP member is intent on politics. The BJP member is intent on politics. It is the BJP which has the highest number of MPs and MLAs who have rape charges against them. It is the BJP that doesn't take action against Brij Bhushan.
None of the parties.
You were talking about
BJP which shelters people who are accused of rape and assaults against women. It is the BJP that does all this. But let's put this aside, speak in one voice. Why is the member of the BJP so intent on politics?
Protecting the rapists.
Okay, Susie Ben Shah, please. Ma'am, just hold on to your thoughts.
Why doesn't she want to focus on solutions? Because
yes,
they don't
we have to focus on solutions. I think that's important because all of you are women in power. Sagarika Ghosh, you are in parliament, you are involved in lawmaking, so let's look for solutions now. Please go ahead, Susie Ben Shah. 30 seconds, let's look for solutions. Yes.
The BJP to look for solutions. The BJP only wants to create protest in order to try and come to power by foul means.
And the criminal nexus in West Bengal.
Yes, let's have Susie Ben
And
Shah on the
also
screen,
to
please.
support.
Yes, please, go ahead, ma'am.
Sagarika ji, we cannot stay in a glass house and throw stones. No politician across party lines can vouchsafe and say that they have no charges against women. Whether it be women, children, they have charges. They have FIRs lodged against them. So let's not talk about that. But I will just like to tell this, that as far as the women and children offences against women and children are concerned and speedy trial is concerned, you look at Maharashtra. I just want to, if there is a political will, a 2022 matter where a 7-year-old girl was raped and killed today on the 22nd of June 2024, he's been given hanging, death by hanging.
No,
Why?
but ma'am,
Because
Maharashtra is also not ensured safe
Let
spaces for women. You have 2 minors being sexually assaulted in the school. So, while you may talk about a previous case, let's look at what has happened in case of these minors.
The government of Maharashtra has accepted the folly. I am equally anguished. I am equally concerned. I was at the school myself for 1.5 days, taking the preliminary examination of all the people concerned.
And it has taken 11 hours for the parents to register an FIR. That happened only after the outrage.
Madam, no sooner we got to know.
And the constable and the police was dismissed immediately.
Shajaji, 1 minute.
The protesters in Maharashtra were lathi charged. That did not happen in Bengal.
Sagarika ji, allow me to complete. I never intervened. So when the parents went to the police station, our woman and child officer were with the parents for 12 hours. Yes, 12 hours is disgusting delay and heads will roll. Similarly, in the hospital, so that the child doesn't feel anguish, our woman and child officer was there. In fact, the member of the commission also was there. So therefore, we've tried to do our best to comfort the situation, and we are not running away. There was a delay. We are all answerable. Heads will roll, but now is the time that we all come together, and take constructive steps. So none of our girls, none of our daughters, none of our women,
Okay, you know,
none of our
Sagarika
sisters.
Ghosh, in this particular case, by
No
Susi
one's
Ben, there is an
talking about it.
acceptance of how things went
completely
wrong.
agree. I
Even in the
completely
case
agree.
of
It's time to
Kolkata,
take steps.
there is the lapse on the part of the police.
Complete
The
hiding.
question is of the delay in filing of the FIR. The question is in, you know, in announcing, in clearly saying that, let's start one by one.
Okay.
Time lag between
Accept the following.
discovery of the body and the lodging of the FIR, death being called unnatural even after a post-mortem examination, and the sealing of the crime scene after more than 12 hours. So these do raise questions on the role of the Kolkata police.
The Kolkata police has clarified each of these points, Maria. The fact is that the unnatural death was registered at 10:10 a.m. as the court has accepted. The investigation then went on. Then, as per the protocol, the FIR was registered late at night after the body was handed over to the parents. The crime scene was sealed, the autopsy was done, the postmortem was done. It is because precisely of the foolproof methods that the Kolkata police used. They have provided, let me tell you, a minute to minute. They have been so confident of their investigation. They have provided a minute to minute account of the day. Please let me finish, with videography of each minute of the day.
Okay.
The court has accepted that. In fact, the questions that Ms. Ilmi is raising were the questions raised in the beginning by the court by Justice Pardiwala when I was listening to it. He then later accepted that, yes, the Kolkata police has addressed these concerns, and then he accepted the minute by minute account that the Kolkata police had given. So the Kolkata police, I have to say here, has done an extremely professional job.
Okay.
It did not get provoked. When there was a huge case of provocation on that night when the vandalism happened, the police was restrained. It did not overact. It did not engage in excess. It held to restraint. It took brickbats. Yes, that vandalism happened. That has to be investigated. But in the case of this particular, of the crime, the police has cracked the case.
Okay.
The Kolkata police has
Okay,
cracked
I have
the
just
case.
enough time for
In
Shazia.
24
Shazia,
hours,
let me
the police
complete.
cracked
And
the
then
case.
I
allow
bring
me
it
to
to
say
you.
I just want
Then I will play that interview
I just want to say
which I
this.
did with
I
Justice
just-
Madan
I don't want
Lokur.
to-
Yes,
this is-
please go
these are
ahead,
not
Shazia
my
Elmi
words.
now.
Solution.
So these are not my words.
Shazia Elmi, go ahead.
This is a surprise shown by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud ji and the other two
Solutions,
judges
very
that
important.
the order of legal procedures, in fact, the judges found it extremely concerning that the disease post-mortem was conducted on August 9 between 6:10 p.m. and 7:10 p.m., which is good 12 hours afterwards. Not just that, I do agree with Ms. Ghosh that Kolkata police did an exemplary job in tampering with evidence, in ransacking the crime site, in allowing the goons to come over and get into the server room to destroy footage. Yes, they did. They did very well in covering up for the culprits who were there. Nobody believes that it was a job of just one man, and also the presence of that man and the unfettered access he had to inside the hospital to every
Okay.
department, and the way he went about doing what he did is a
We
matter
certainly
of
hope
great
now
shame.
that this politics ends once and for all, and all of you very accomplished women actually get on to business of looking for solutions. Thank you so much for joining us, Sagarika Ghosh, Member of Parliament of the TMC. We have Shazia Ilmi, spokesperson of the BJP, and advocate Susi Ben Shah. Kolkata to Thane, courts are intervening and taking state governments to task. We have Justice Madan Lokur joining us now to put in context increasing cases of judicial intervention in matters which are essentially responsibilities of state governments, be it safety of doctors on duty or women's safety or safety of children in schools. Justice Lokur, thank you so much for your time here on NDTV. Sir, according to you, what are the lapses that you have noticed in the investigation so far with regards to Kolkata, and any serious lapse, particularly on the part of the Kolkata police, that will vitiate the investigation?
I think one of the biggest lapses, in my view, is the cremation of the girl, of the doctor. She is the evidence. I mean, all the evidence is on her. All right. So, what was the hurry in, carrying out the cremation? Maybe it could have been done a day later. Bodies are kept in a morgue. So I really don't see why there was this hurry. That is one. The second thing, which is of course technical, is that there was a delay in recording the FIR. All right. Now that may not have much of a significance so far as the investigation is concerned, but from the investigation point of view, getting the doctor cremated, I think was wrong. Doing it in such a hurry.
And in this case, Justice Lokur, the Supreme Court has constituted a national task force to work out the modalities of safety measures which could be put in place for medical professionals. The NTF, of course, is to make some recommendations. But sir, how far can it be helpful? Because health is a state subject. Law and order is a state subject.
Yeah, you see, it can give guidance. All right. Now, for example, there was a time when you had this Model Prisons Act or Model Prisons Manual. All right. Prisons is a state subject. But once you have that document, it can give guidance to the states. So similarly, if the National Task Force comes out with some kind of recommendations, it will definitely help the states. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect is that there was a time, maybe I think in 2019 or 2020, when a draft legislation was prepared. All right, for some reason it was shelved. Now there is a demand, apparently, that this act should be enacted or this bill should be passed into a law. Now, one of the things that is being said is that, oh, you see, this is a state subject. How can Parliament legislate on it? But the Constitution provides for a situation like this. If you remember, a long time back in the 1970s, when the Wildlife Protection Act was passed, all right, the states passed a resolution saying that we would like Parliament to enact a law. And on that basis, Parliament enacted the Wildlife Protection Act. So similarly, in a situation like this, I don't think any state is going to say that, listen, we don't want Parliament to enact a law, right? They will agree. Now, since there is already a draft legislation, that can be circulated to the states, inviting their suggestions, comments, and so on and so forth. So, if there is a will to do it, it can be done, and I think it should be done.
Okay, so and increasingly we are seeing suo motu cognizance being taken by courts in what are essentially core governance issues, like safety of women. These are law and order issues. Policing is a law and order issue. How are you seeing this transition? Is this some kind of signal or sign of failing governance?
In a sense, yes. Why are there public interest litigations? Okay, because there is a failure in governance, and that is being pointed out through the public. Now, if the court takes suo motu cognizance of something, that means there is something wrong, and which needs to be corrected. I remember dealing with a suo motu case about prison reforms. All right, a letter was sent by a former Chief Justice of India to the Supreme Court that was taken up as a public interest petition, suo motu in that sense, and action taken. So you are right. It has something to do with governance.
And so, today in the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice said and reminded the state governments that they should not politicize the matter. why is the judiciary needing to remind the state governments that they should not be politicizing issues which are so core? I mean, safety of women is the priority, it is the responsibility, it is the duty of a state.
Why should a crime like this be a political issue at all? Okay, and I heard a part of the proceedings, political statements were being made or political accusations were being made. I think it's time that we have to get over this business of politicizing everything. Even a crime like rape and murder. I think it has to stop.
I'm speaking to you on a day that Supreme Court has reminded the state government of Kolkata, in Bengal, of their failures. And then you have another state of Maharashtra, the government of Maharashtra being reminded how they have failed the children in the state.
Going back to the Nirbhaya case, right? That wasn't politicized. Okay, it had a political fallout later on, but that was not, politicized. People just came on the streets. So why should we inject politics into a crime of this nature? Yeah, I think the state governments have to wake up and say that, listen, we have to do something about it.
All right, Justice Madan Lukur, pleasure speaking to you, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV.